Good morning, Divas! Welcome back to my channel. Welcome to Rise on Purpose, a daily affirmation show for every woman. Thank you so much for joining me. Today we will be talking about forgiveness. If you want to hear me jump on about that topic, do stay tuned. Welcome back. I'm your diva mama Nyasha herself, a beauty confidence and woman empowerment coach, founder of the Divas Empowered Network. Let's get into the meat and two veg of this matter. The reading for today says, "Forgive and you would be forgiven." Everybody has had someone who has done them wrong. When someone hurts you, you want to hurt them back. We live with anger and thoughts of revenge. We want to see them suffer. We want them to feel what we have felt. We want them to know they can't get away with what they did. But they did not get away if your anger keeps you stuck in the situation. When the table turns, we make mistakes, we create pain for others, and we cannot understand why they do not or cannot forgive us. Perhaps it is because there is someone we need to forgive. Forgiveness frees us from the pain of the past and moves us beyond our mistakes in the future. When you give, you get. And what you give is what you get. When you forgive, forgiveness is there for you if you need it. And your affirmation for today, ladies, I forgive everyone for everything, totally and unconditionally. When I was getting ready to come on and make this video about this topic, I was thinking, which angle should I take this from? Because there's a lot of different angles you can take forgiveness from. And I just thought, I'm just going to take it from the very simple angle of, if you don't forgive, you cannot expect to be forgiven. And I'm going to take this from two angles. Firstly, let me tell you something. If you hold someone in your heart for something which they have done to you, be it a big thing or a little thing, the only person you're harming is yourself. Because I can guarantee you that more than likely, that person has moved on with their lives. And if truth be told, after 1 year, 2 years, 3 years, we are still hanging on to that anger. But if we really search ourselves, unless it's a massive thing, we don't even remember why we got angry with that person in the first place. And let me just tell you something about an apple. Let's just dig into this for a bit. If you have 20 good apples in a bowl and you put one apple that has just even started to go bad, that apple would make all of the 20 good, ripe, plump, juicy apples you had in that bowl go bad as well. And that is the same thing with forgiveness and hatred. You may be thinking, well, I have not forgiven Sharon for doing X to me on my job 10 years ago. However, I'm a good person because I go to church, I love my husband, I pray, I serve the poor, I give and all of that. But yet you have not forgiven Sharon for something which she done 5, 10, 15, maybe even 20 years ago, because girls, some of us are petty like that. However, you think that you're a good person because you're doing good. But hatred, unforgiveness, and love cannot live in the same heart, in the same mind, in the same conscience. The energy of hatred and love, and whether we like it or not, the bad thing or the toxic thing, even with smells, or if there's crime in an area, you wouldn't hear when all the good is happening, but you would hear when the bad happens. It's the same analogy. Unforgiveness and hatred will overtake and will consume you to the point where it doesn't matter how much good you do. The fact that every time you see something that triggers what Sharon did, or every time you see an old friend and they say, oh, how's your friend Sharon? You bring it up, or you think about it constantly, you are making that toxic energy and that toxic behavior infiltrate your heart, your mind, your conscience, where only love should live. Secondly, you as a human being, you are breathing, you are walking, you are moving. It is inevitable that one day, in some way, you would offend someone. Not necessarily because you intend to offend that person, but something which you might do, which you might think is trivial. Some of your friends may get into their feelings about it. And in that time, what you would want is for them to see your heart and to forgive you. And if you have an ounce of unforgiveness in your heart, if the energy that you are putting out is unforgiveness towards someone else, how the hell can you expect someone else to forgive you for something which you intentionally or unintentionally have done? Forgiveness is energy. What you put out is what you get. What you sow is what you reap. And in the same vein that you expect someone to see the error of your ways and to help you and to forgive you for something, it's the same way that you, my friend, need to extend the same courtesy to someone else. And when you extend that courtesy to someone, you're not doing it for them. Because a lot of us sit down in ignorance like, oh, I ain't forgiving her. Listen, the only person you're hurting is yourself. The only place where peace doesn't live is within you. The only person's peace you're responsible for is yours. So when you forgive someone, you are working on your own peace so that you could live your best life peacefully. Are you going to go out and forgive someone today? Are you going to look deep in your heart? And if there's someone that you're holding in your craw, for something which they may have done, are you going to finally bury that hatchet and let only peace and love and happiness and joy live in your heart? Let me give you an exercise before I end this video. If it is someone that you're still speaking to or someone you think you can still speak to that person. Let them know that what they did offended you. However, for your own peace of mind, you have forgiven them and you have let it go. If it's someone who you are not speaking to, but you can still get into contact with them because they live in their best life, they're going to family events, that man you have not forgiven, he's now moved on with his 2.25 children and the picket fence, or that girlfriend's enjoying her life with your other girlfriends while you sitting there moping, write them a letter. And do the same thing. Write them a letter saying, I forgive you. I forgive you for this. This is how it made me feel at this time. I no longer want to feel that way. And I want peace in my heart. And if it's someone who you no longer have contact with, write the letter. And then either burn the letter or run it under a tap. And let it go. Forgiveness is something which you do for you, not for the other party involved. Hope you enjoyed this video. Well, you got to the end of it, so please do go ahead and give it a thumbs up if you enjoyed it, and I would be happy if you consider subscribing to the channel and turning the notification button on so you can get the tea when it is served piping hot. Until next time, remain fit, fierce, and absolutely fabulous, darlings. Bye-bye.